Folks, welcome to another episode of Farmer James Vermont Mountainside Beekeeping. And today this is episode 4 of starting over 2026. I lost a lot of hives, as you can see, resettling the bee yard. And yeah, it's a lot of work. Today's 40 something degrees. And these are my survivor colonies, no flight. My carniolas that survived, my Vermont mutt bees that survived. All down in 5 frame nuke boxes, and you see the one medium and one medium. And then the one in the middle seems to be growing, so I put a 5 over 5 on that one. Cold day, 40 something degrees. Things are planted, bees are not flying, so no bees, folks. I know I talk too much, but this is what happens in the spring of Vermont. Planting season, blueberries, strawberries growing, more blueberries, and yeah, more blueberries. Yeah, I like the blueberries, low and high bush blueberries. And cloudy day, mid 40s, no sunshine. I don't know where it went, but it's supposed to get cold. And I got more packages, the replacements from Oliveraz. So they did come through the mail. These are what did make it through the disaster. They're all bundled down. I'm going to go on to these as well. These are the 4 that first came. And I'm going to check those out. So this 4 across, starting with the blue one. Going across to there, I'll check, and I'll add another video and a link to that video. But today I'm just going in and setting up more of these nuke boxes, and going to transfer today in this cloudy, cool day bees. And if you folks have been following me, I had a dead out, and those dead outs I'm taking advantage of, and I'll show you what I mean. So in these 5 frame nuke boxes, I'm placing 4 frames in each of them. And what I've done, folks, is I got a frame of comb. I got resources from the dead out, so they do have some resources. Really nice honey that's left over. So one viewer had mentioned, like, oh, Farmer James, hold on to your camera. And yes, I'm trying to learn how to videotape and film, as well as talk about that. So yeah, so I got resources from those dead outs. Again, another comb, and you can see that some of the bees and how they did die on the frames, where you could probably see they did have a cluster of pollen, and that's where most of the bees clustered. I did leave some dead bees you see sitting on here. I'll brush them off, but the bees will go in to these cells and they'll clean out those dead bees. So folks, look, we're going to have live bees, but today's a cloudy day, so we're not going to see much bee flight. And you'll see in each of these, I also have set up where, you know, new, old, pro nuke, new. So what I'm trying to do is differentiate these bees' homes as the new bees adjust to the old bees, and so forth and so on. That's why you see a little difference here in this setup over there. Dandelion flows happening, violets. And look at that pile of boxes over here from the dead outs, folks. A lot of stuff, you know, but hey, that's what's going on. Hey, welcome everyone. Again, another episode 4. Farmer James, Vermont Mountainside Beekeeping. And I know I talk too much, but again, this is spring. And in Vermont on cold days, we're either cleaning up, as I did show you, or we're getting some packages to replace dead outs, because I didn't have a lot of nukes, as you saw in the yard, that survived the winter. So I'm trying to get bees as well as get a honey crop. And that's the way it is, folks. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that's farming. And a lot of beekeepers have been saying that. Thank you, beekeepers. Thank you up north beekeepers for mentioning to stay in the game, because it's not easy. We tend to have a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes it's nice to show the good times, but we need to show the bad times as well. Why? Because that's the equilibrium of life in farming. Got the good, bad, and you got the ugly, including this ugly mug. But again, all you folks, thanks for subscribing Thanks for listening in, even though I talk too much. I'm just trying to explain what I do. And today is package day. So, setting up in my drone den, bringing some things that I stored there. And that's the magic school bus buggy setting up to do a lot of different things with bees. But yeah, this is the drone shed. These are the dead outs that have been empty. I'm going to scrub them with some oxalic wood bleach and scuff them up with some sandpaper, rough them up a little bit. So the bees jump into those deeps, and I'm trying to get those ready. But it's a challenge working with yourself, but that's all right, folks. So thanks for listening to me. Like and subscribe, share, and whatever you subscribe, that helps me put out more videos because, as you know, YouTube likes that algorithm. Not looking for the monetary as much as just the ability to talk to you folks. I'm from Vermont, in the great white north of Vermont. I'm in Stockbridge, Vermont, on the side of the mountains. As you see, surrounded by the beauty of the mountains, surrounded by trees. Maple trees are starting to get some leaves on there. So, yeah, I had mentioned my little setup in, I got packages, and that's what I'm doing. Got this nice gorilla yard cardinal things coming back to me as far as like talking about what I do. So, again, I'm doing a Pro Nucs. I'm doing brand new 5-frame. And I do have some old, and again, some comb, putting in resources for these bees, as well as, again, more empty comb. But each of them, they have enough resources for the bees to feed off of. There's left over that's empty comb. So we'll still have these nights where we drop down in the 30s, and the next 2 nights are going to be just that. And I know right here under this tarp, folks, are the packages that I'm going to install. I want to take time and stop and show you what I have under the top. Reason I have what you see under and what you do see is because it's windy, it's cool, and these packages have arrived. They are doing okay. Some of the bees don't have as many bodies floating around as I thought, and a lot of bees. So keeping them underneath this tarp to keep them warm, away from the northern breeze, which is out here. But they have enough aeration. They have, oops, excuse me, folks, they have enough aeration. And I left that styrofoam on there just as a wind gauge to let me know, wow, is the wind getting crazy or not? But that's what I'm trying to do, transfer these 5 frames. Got my little workbench where basically I'll be suiting up. And I do have my red paint, but I'm switching from the red to the yellow. Why? Because I'm going to not need any markers for my dead outs. Measuring tape, gloves, blah, blah, blah. But trying to get all that stuff ready to deliver over to the, what I'm going to call the nuke yard. So no bees yet. In the next episode, you'll see what I've done from taking these packages and then placing them into these nuke boxes. So, yeah, listen in. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. I know down south, and I like this new drone den. It's been really nice little extra handy thing to place either packages in if they come in and it's too cold up here in Vermont because the nights are now getting into the mid-30s again. And over the next freaking week, we're having cold weather. So, yeah, it's not easy doing what I do. It's not easy having the fun I do. Beekeeping is very fun. It's also very rewarding. But there's ups and downs, and those are different things that we go through in life. And that's when I keep learning, you know, look, slow down. Take a deep breath. Smell the flowers. Well, you know, all I'm trying to do is just share as much as I can. I am going to show more bees, but I'm not going to jeopardize the bees and put them under more stress. And again, today it's cloudy, as you see, folks. It's not nice. And wow, well, sprinkling a little bit of rain, which is bizarre. But again, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share your comments. Let me know what's going on in your wood. You know, I really like, you know, you people saying I talk too much, and I do. I love talking. But I will show you a lot of bees, and I guarantee you that, because this is our journey, this is our journey, this is our journey. And I want to share my journey with you all, because all you beekeepers out there, Well, give me some great comments will help me out and discover and rediscover who I am, because I've only been doing it since 2017. Um, and that's all I really got to say is I really appreciate beekeeping. There's some up and downs, but I'm going to show you the progress of those packages that I've installed 2 weeks ago. I guarantee you that. I got the tripod ready. I got my skill set ready on videoing. And I'm going to try to do better at not talking as much as trying to show you what's going on here in the Green Mountains of Vermont. And look at all that leftover honey, which will be good for these package bees, and they'll jump right on that. So folks, subscribe. I really appreciate you all tuning in. Farmer James, Mountainside Beekeeping. Be well.